All right, we've got a lot to talk about here. I'm meteorologist Ben Peine here in the Extol Media Studios in New Albany, in uptown New Albany at the corner of Vincent's and Market. Thanks for watching here. We're about 10 minutes late. We got a lot going on in the studio here this morning. We're just recording some music that you might see a little bit on Extol Unfiltered here very soon. So we do have a lot to talk about. We've got a chance of some storms heading our way tonight. That threat's pretty low, and then we've got an elevated threat, a higher threat, much higher, it looks like, for late tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening. So Friday evening, extra weather aware. The Storm Prediction Center, which I just put out on a post a couple hours ago, has some strong wording saying the potential of strong tornadoes and giant hail, which we don't hear very often. So we are going to dig into that. In fact, I'll just go ahead and bring that up here. Let me add this to, well, this is kind of our weather headline here this morning from the Storm Prediction Center, from the National Weather Service, their division of the National Weather Service, the Storm Prediction Center. This is generally forecast, and this means the storm. This is generally forecast to shift east-northeastward into the lower Ohio Valley, that's us, through late Friday afternoon in an environment that may support at least a window of opportunity of sustained, long-lived supercells with potential to produce large to giant hail. So then you're talking golf ball, baseball size hail potential, and a couple strong tornadoes. So that's not your EF0, that's not your EF1. Strong tornado would be EF2 or above. So significant damaging tornadoes possible. So that is our weather headline, and that is what we're going to focus on here on Ben at 10. So thanks for tuning in here. To get started, though, I want to give a shout out to our partners, and a big reason why we're here and able to be here is Ivy Tech Community College Sellersburg, which my daughter looks like she'll get a good year head start, maybe just doing 3 years of college instead of 4, thanks to the programs offered there. Let me go ahead and bring that up as well. Remove that, add that. So there is a look at their landing page. You just need to go to ivytech.edu and then go to locations right there, and then you can go to Sellersburg and find out all about their campus, their programs. June 6th, I believe, is their summer sessions. You can register now. There is a program that they have is Tuesdays at the Tech, where you can learn all about how to register, how to pay for college, and all of that good stuff. So there you go, Ivy Tech. Moving on here to Lyons Roofing, and we've got the operator of Lyons Roofing here, actually, Kyle Lyons, in the studio today. And you're going to hear a whole lot about them as well, and you can help them out by actually working for them. They're going to be building their crews because they have so much business because of the storms that we had in March and April and all the hail that we had across the area. So you can actually call them, 812-294-3595. We're opening up opportunities here for you. If you need a job, check them out. That is Lyons Roofing, 812-294-3595. They've also got free estimates right there. They're super busy, of course, because of all the storms that we've already had this spring season. And also in WSB, people you know wherever you go. Great banking partners here with Extol Media and myself. And there you can see that they have still through the month of May. They are collecting anything bag related, basically. If you're doing some spring cleaning, grab those plastic bags, paper bags, tote bags, backpacks, duffel bags, lunch bags. Just a reminder, you can take that to any NWSB location and help out. So we appreciate NWSB for being a partner for all of us here in Southern Indiana and helping out some good stuff there. That is newwashbank.com. if you want to find some more information about that. So we are, again, we're going to reset here and talk a lot about, we're going to spend some time hour by hour with the severe weather potential for little one tonight, and then the big one, the main event, the main focus is going to be tomorrow evening. Right now, that window of opportunity for severe storms looks like it's going to be highest from around 5 p.m. tomorrow until midnight. And you know, if you know me, I don't hype things up that much. So if you see me getting excited about the potential of severe weather, then definitely take note that that threat is going to be going up for us. So that is definitely something we're going to be focusing on for today. I want to get a look at some of the comments here popping in. Number one in the comments section every morning almost. Good morning from Borden, Indiana. Beverly Haggis, thanks for tuning in here. And we have Mary Dale, good morning. Don't want to hear about the giant hail. Yeah, that is, again, wording you don't hear too often from the Storm Prediction Center. And their big job in Norman, Oklahoma, they got a big building there that they look across the United States every day. They've got a day 1 risk, 2, 3, now have expanded to 4 or 5, and look at where severe weather might happen throughout the United States. They also help issue watches and things like that too. Sarah Shemansky, good morning. How far east do you think the possible severe weather will go? Jason will be in a conference east of Cincy today through Saturday. So we're going to look at the day 1 risk, the day 2 risk as well. And it does look like that risk would go that direction too for Jason. And so I'll bring up a look at what's happening now. So everything's quiet today. And today you're going to notice, by the way, a difference in the air. It is going to be a bit tropical out there. The highest level of dew points that measure water content in the air that we've had this year. Highest temperatures that we've had this year. So our upper 80s, likely going to feel possibly like around 90 degrees today. So there's a change in the air mass, summer-like, think fuel for storms as well. So let me bring up the Storm Prediction Center's severe weather outlook for today and tomorrow right off the bat before we start to time out these storms. So today's severe weather outlook, it does include Cincinnati. That would be later on tonight, but I'm really not that concerned about the severe weather threat for tonight. Our area is under level 2 out of the 5 severe weather risk categories here, Sarah, and that does include Cincinnati for tonight. That would be like for isolated damaging winds, maybe some hail. It would be a low tornado threat. In fact, we can bring up the different categories, the probability of a tornado. Along and north of the Ohio River, that's under, I believe, the 5% risk category there. And then as we go ahead and move into day 2, this is when the risk is going to increase for our area. So that includes Cincinnati as well. So there you can see that risk goes all the way east, just kind of touching that enhanced risk. It looks like kind of an avocado here. The middle portion, the orange portion, is level 3 out of 5. That is an enhanced risk of severe storms from the Storm Prediction Center. I wouldn't be surprised if that gets enhanced another level, maybe to a moderate risk over the next 24 hours. Just got to see how these ingredients play out. But we've got the warm and moist air, that's the unstable air, what we've talked about quite a bit, the CAPE, the convective available potential energy, but you combine that with some strong winds at the surface and up aloft, and then we're talking wind shear. So you've got those ingredients that will sustain long-lived supercells. This is tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. But then you also have a front that's going to kick in to our area, and that will be what we call the kicker to lift off the potential of strong to severe storms across the area. So just kind of a mini event possible for tonight after about 8 p.m. We're going to see that with our high-resolution weather model data, and then the main event looks like tomorrow evening and tomorrow night. All right, looking over so I hope that answered your question there, Sarah. So that is an example. If you pop in a question, you've got a specific question, we can detour and try to get to your answers before we start to dig in a little bit more to some other stuff here. And we've got Beverly Haggis. When are the storms going to hit your niece's funeral tomorrow? So the time frame tomorrow is 5 p.m. until midnight for southern Indiana. Perry Porter popping in here. Good morning from Borden. Hey, Ben, what can you say about the weather? Indy 500 or too early? Probably too early for that. But the next 2 weeks, starting next week, the trend is for a northwest flow in the jet stream. That would promote below normal temperatures possibly towards Memorial Day and towards the end of May. But as June comes around, typically that's when we start to get more into that summertime pattern. But the next 2 weeks could actually be below normal. Vicky Berger, good morning. You just now come on. Yeah, we were about 10 minutes late this morning. Got a lot going on in the studio here. And we have Donna Hammond. I think you were just tagging some people there. And then Nina Martin, come on, summertime. And we got some folks saying hello to each other here this morning. So thanks for being busy in the comment section here this morning. I'm going to bring up the forecast, and then we will dig into the weather model data in a lot more detail. Jackie Strange, good morning. As always, thanks for the information. Thank you for tuning in here this morning as well. All right, so we'll go ahead and we're going to come back to those weather model graphics here in just a second. And timeout, that's the most important thing, give you that timing and what to expect. But want to bring up the general forecast here first before we take a little live look outside. Look at that sunshine out there, and we're going to see those temperatures skyrocket today. We're talking upper 80s, near 90 degrees. I think the urban areas and the cities could touch 90 today. And you're going to notice the dew points, that is that measure of water content in the air, the mugginess is going to be sticky out there. So for the first time this year, feeling like summertime outside. I know it was warm yesterday, but we're adding in that moisture. Had a warm front lift through last night. And we've got Linda Richardson's good morning to you. Thanks for tuning in here. And let me go ahead and remove that, add that, and we'll get back to the severe weather talk here in just a moment. So this morning, it was a nice sunrise. I noticed looking off in the distance here, so this was looking out our bedroom window. There's a little haze in the air, and that would be that humidity. We're kind of at the surface, but a very nice sunrise nonetheless. The bird nerd moment of our segment here, I had the Eastern Phoebe, the American robin, the Caroline chickadee, tufted titmouse, the summer, and the scarlet tanager, and the wood thrush. That is with the Merlin bird app. If you set it outside, it will listen for all the birds out there. I am popping it up to 89 degrees for that forecast high. I'm going to call it hot and humid. We're not used to those upper 80s. So to stay hydrated out there. And then this evening, I would say after around 8 p.m., we'll have a chance for some showers and thunderstorms. I think it's a low severe weather threat, but there could be a couple of rogue thunderstorms that pack some isolated damaging winds and some hail, especially in southern Indiana. Level 2 out of the 5 severe weather risk categories for today. And Lillian already has 77 degrees at her house. Good morning to you. Thanks for tuning in here. And Beverly, the picture of the field of flowers, those are mustard plants. Yes, that was last week. We were talking about that. Sunset at 8:47. So around sunset, I believe we'll have some showers and thunderstorms moving into the area. We are going to see that timing again here in just a moment. And Donna popping in with a good morning. Thanks for watching here. Moving on here, we've got the high levels. I mean, so many people impacted with their allergies and just sinus infections, something going around. It's not just me. High levels out there of tree and grass pollen. The play ball forecast, hot and humid. Again, I would say around 8 p.m. and later is when we'll start to see that rain chance increasing. So maybe if a ball game goes late into the evening, might be running into that chance of rain. South wind at around 10 to 20 and just kind of muggy out there for today. Sunset at 8:47. We got those 9 p.m. sunsets May 31st and later. And tonight's forecast, 72 degrees, a warm summer-like night with a shower or thunderstorm possible. South winds at around 5 to 15, and our sunrise tomorrow morning at 6:30 tomorrow morning. And tomorrow, I think we'll see a chance of some lingering showers and storms in Kentucky, especially central Kentucky. I think southern Indiana is going to be mainly dry morning and through mid-afternoon. And then it's going to be late afternoon when I think we'll start to get some severe thunderstorm watches, probably a tornado watch with that threat being a little bit higher across the area. So that's why you don't see storm icons here until the very end at the latter portion of that 4 p.m. Time frame there, because we'll have the potential for some late afternoon evening storms tomorrow. Nonetheless, a summer-like day with 72 degrees starting off in the morning. That's our low temperature, heading up to the low 80s by noon and 87, that forecast high tomorrow. Average high is 78, so we're about 10 degrees above normal today and tomorrow, and our sunrise at 6:30 and setting at 8:48 tomorrow. So that is your Friday, May 16th forecast. Let's push it to the 7-day here. So we have our Friday night storms gone before sunrise Saturday. That leaves the weekend dry. That's the one good part about this forecast. Timing out the weekend pretty nice here with that window of some good outdoor time. That'd be a good time to get things done around the yard because next week looks fairly unsettled once again with several rain chances. 80, so seasonably warm Saturday, a little bit cooler. You'll notice some drier air moving in, meaning the dew points will go down a little bit. So it's going to be more comfortable Saturday than the next 2 days. Upper 70s on Sunday and hovering in the upper 70s to near 80 degrees early next week. Chance for a morning shower Monday. European weather model was pretty dry. GFS had a few showers around. Shouldn't be a big deal there Monday. And then a 40% chance of a shower Tuesday. Looks like the best chance Wednesday as a front moves in. And then that could drop us down to some cooler conditions, maybe upper 60s, low 70s next Thursday. And that would begin the pattern of the next 2 weeks of below normal temperatures. So we'll see how that plays out for the rest of this month. This might be the last time we kind of feel summer-like for this month, today and tomorrow, with that warm and moist air as a cooler weather pattern takes shape. And we'll take a look at that towards the end of our Ben at 10 program this morning when the jet stream takes a northwest orientation, and that would keep a cooler than normal air mass over our area for the last 2 weeks of May. But of course, our focus is going to be on this right here. Let me bring up this slide one more time because if you're coming in just a little bit late, we're coming in a little bit late as well. Let me bring up this wording. Again, it's about that time we start to dive into this from the Storm Prediction Center. You don't see this too often for our area. So tomorrow, at least level 3 out of the 5 severe weather risk categories for tomorrow, late afternoon, evening time. So this is the wording from the Storm Prediction Center's risk for Friday. And this, when they say this, means the chance of storms is generally forecast to shift east-northeastward into the lower Ohio Valley, that's us, through late afternoon. In an environment, those are the ingredients we're talking about here, that may support at least a window of opportunity for sustained long-lived supercells with the potential to produce large and giant hail in a couple of tornadoes. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and move on to the timing of those potential severe storms. Before we do that, we got Marcelin Wilson. Good morning to you. Thanks for popping in here. And we've got Barbara Brownfield, 80 on my 80th. Happy birthday, Barbara. Perfect. On your Saturday, your early birthday's coming up on Saturday. All right, so we're going to bring up the future radar, and it's time to time out 2 chances of severe weather. The first one is a low risk this evening and tonight, and then the higher risk is going to be for late tomorrow. And so we will start off with, I'd like to look at the HRRR weather model, and we'll bring that one up. So it's starting off now. Again, we're dry through pretty much almost all the daytime today. I'll push this to right around 3 p.m. today. Notice a little bit of activity off to our southwest. And we'll go ahead and go to around 5 p.m. Wait for it to load here for just a second. And there you can see some of the storms off to the southwest. So this is 5 p.m. today. We're dry. We're in good shape. We're sweating out there in the upper 80s, near 90 degrees, feeling like 90 with that humidity. All right, we'll zoom in a little bit closer. This is around 6 p.m. Starting to see the storms bubble up out to our west. And we've got Debbie Cheatham tuning in. Bring on the snow. No snow. Tired of it. We had enough of that last winter. All right, so this is at 7 p.m. I'll go ahead and bring this up full screen so you can see that. And we'll just feast our eyes on 7 p.m. this evening. So this move in our direction. Let me go ahead and bring this up here. So still out to the west, hopefully by 7 p.m. so we can get some after-school events in that we've had so many cancellations already this season. All right, let's go to 8 p.m. That's when it starts to get on our doorstep, it looks like. And let me bring, we're just waiting. The data's coming in just a little bit slow right now. We're waiting on it to pop in. There you go. So there's a look at some showers and some thunderstorms moving in. This is around 8 p.m. this evening. And again, I think this is going to be a low severe weather threat for our area for this evening. Not real concerned about it for tonight. I'm going to pop this ahead to 11 p.m. This would be kind of the appetizer to just get in the mind frame for the bigger potential for tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. All right, just waiting for the maps to load. The things are loading a little bit slower on the program here this morning. This might be a long bin at 10. If the data is coming in this slow right now, I might have to restart the program as well. All right, so there's 11 p.m. Now I'm going to jump ahead to tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., 9 o'clock in the morning. This showed like southern Indiana dry, and then Kentucky had a lingering chance of a shower or thunderstorm in the morning time. So it looked like south of the Ohio River, best chance for a lingering shower or storm for our Friday morning. And then in the afternoon, we'll start to recharge things. So there you can see that activity mainly off to the south. This is at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. I'm going to jump ahead to tomorrow afternoon. See if we can get this data to load. There we go. There, now it's starting to load a little bit quicker. So 4 p.m. tomorrow. Those dudes look pretty big and bad right there. Again, it's got all of that heat and humidity and moisture and wind energy, just a lot of ingredients for severe weather. Would not be surprised, guys, if we get a tornado watch tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. And we're jumping ahead just about an hour here. Will it be that ugly and that bad? This is a weather model depiction. You're going to see a little different view of this. But what this would tell me, the environment's ripe for strong to severe storms. I'm going to bring this up full screen here for you. Yeah, it looks tough. It looks rough. This also says there could be a couple rounds. You might have discrete, meaning isolated in nature, supercells that initially fire up in the afternoon. Those are the ones that can spin like a top, be long-lived supercells, and produce strong tornadoes. Our area is in a hatched area, 10% or greater, which is fairly rare for our area, for the potential of EF2 or greater tornado strength for late tomorrow. And we'll see that with the Storm Prediction Center here in just a second. So keep in mind these maps, and then we'll match this up with the Storm Prediction Center's risk for severe weather for tomorrow. But pretty ugly round of storms possible developing late tomorrow afternoon. All right, moving ahead here, we'll go to around 8 o'clock tomorrow evening. For a second, it was loading a little bit quicker. Data's loading a little bit slower now. But I think we've got kind of two rounds for tomorrow. Maybe that late afternoon initial firing up of those storms, and then along the front, it looks like we'll have possibly a squall line that moves through a little bit later in the nighttime. I do think that threat will be diminishing by midnight, late Friday night. All right, so this should be popping on here in just a second. So there you go. All right, so this is at around 7 p.m. tomorrow. That initial big batch moves through, and then we are waiting for that final squall line along that front. And Bonnie popping in with sunny in Mount Washington. Yeah, we've got a lot of sunshine out there. That's going to pop those temperatures up for today. All right, moving on here. I'm going to pop this ahead to around 9 p.m., 10 p.m. tomorrow. We'll zoom in here a little bit. And there you can see that squall line developing. I'm going to bring this up full screen. Thank you for that comment, Bonnie. All right. And so here is the potential for some spin-up tornadoes, damaging winds, large hail, heavy torrential rainfall, frequent cloud-to-ground lightning. Basically, all of those severe weather threats are on the table for tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. All right, I'll take this out of full screen mode. We'll go to like 11 o'clock tomorrow. We'll start to see this line shifting off to the south of the Ohio River around 11 p.m. midnight. So right now, that time frame, it might still adjust, an hour or two, give or take. But right now, 5 p.m. until midnight Friday looks like the main event as far as severe weather. So then this is at 11 p.m. tomorrow. This is the HRRR, the High Resolution Rapid Refresh weather model. And notice that those storms are big and bad over Kentucky and then starting to move out of southern Indiana. And bring this up full screen so you can see this a little bit better. So a little bit later into the nighttime, the storms persist over Kentucky. This is 11 p.m. tomorrow evening, May the 16th, and then southern Indiana quieting down, say 11 p.m. midnight, and then the threat will diminish and be gone, thankfully, for the entire weekend as we have dry weather in the forecast for the weekend. Michael Montgomery standing by for severe weather again. Yeah, I mean, we've kind of had a little bit of a break here. It was rough late March, early April, and then now we are back at it. So that there is the HRRR weather model, the High Resolution Rapid Refresh weather model. I want to show you, I guess, just to give you more proof that the ingredients are there. I'm going to show you the CAPE, the available potential energy for severe storms across the area. And it was showing like 4,000 joules per kilogram. And again, that is, if you get storms to explode, which it looks like they will, how much energy do they have? And this is showing just an explosive amount of energy around the area. And so let me go ahead and bring that back up. There we go. All right, so there you go. This is measured in joules per kilogram. And so this is a parcel of air. Think of a bubble of air on the ground. And in that bubble of air, how much energy do you have to be released? And think of like if you're holding a beach ball underwater and you let go, it pops up, right? Well, this is a lot more energy that will pop up. And that's when you see those billowing clouds going straight up. That is the buoyancy. That is the convective available potential energy. But this could turn into storms that are 50, 60,000 foot tall tomorrow. That would mean some large and damaging hail potential. Big time energy there at the surface. And then you factor in, let's just go 500 millibar winds. And so near those storms, this is 4 p.m. tomorrow, you got a low-level jet rocket and rolling, 50 to 70 mile per hour winds. And we've kind of discussed the dynamics of this. So if you get a lot of CAPE, summertime we've got a ton of CAPE, ton of energy, but you have no wind. And the storms will just kind of go straight up and then they'll wash themselves out. And they'll just dump out. And sometimes like a microburst, you'll get some isolated damaging winds from that. But generally they're called pulse thunderstorms. They pulse straight up, last for maybe like a half hour, and then they fall apart. Usually garden variety, not a big deal. But when you have summer-like energy with this heat and humidity, the storms are not going straight up. They're going to be tilted thanks to the low-level and mid-level wind shear. So this creates kind of a perfect system where you got rain out of the front of the storm, and then you're feeding the storm continuously with that warm and moist air. So it's a system, and that's why the Storm Prediction Center is saying long-lived supercells tomorrow. We've got the ingredients, so not going to be surprised if we get a tornado watch at some point tomorrow. John Fox, good morning all. Sorry so late. Hey John, we were about 10 minutes late too, so join the party here. Aaron's took longer than expected, so thanks for watching. You're just kind of in the middle of looking at the weather model data right now. We'll get back to the forecast. So thanks for popping in. So all right, those are some of the ingredients. Now we're going to clear out that weather model data, and we're going to bring in the NAM 3 kilometer. It is another high resolution weather model, and it will show us similar conditions. It did not look as explosive late tomorrow afternoon. I will say that. And this is starting off tomorrow. I'm going to start this off today because we do have a chance of storms this evening as well. So we're going to bring this up at 5 p.m. today, the NAM 3 kilometer. Again, the data is kind of chugging today, coming in a little bit slow. And we got a comment question popping in here. Vicky Berger saying, Salem High School seniors are having the walk through now. They dress in their caps and gowns and walk through the elementary school for the young ones. Great idea. Borden does that as well. That is a great program. Inspiring the youngins to keep it going through graduation. It is busy time of the year. Good morning, Linda Anderson. So while we wait for the data to chug here, it's trying. I might get back to the forecast here in just a second and wait for this weather model data to load. I might restart this program actually. So my son, as the old joke goes, watch out on the roads. I'm taking him to get his license at like 1 o'clock today. So I got a teenage boy joining the insurance, so that's gonna skyrocket. So thoughts and prayers for the Peine family as Brady will be hopping on the roads. He gets freedom today to get out and enjoy that license. So that's why it's a busy time of the year. They are also playing tennis and baseball and all these these matches that they're trying to make up in baseball games. There's like a game or a match every night. You got graduation coming up, graduation parties. It is a fun time. All right, let me try to reboot the program and see if we can get this loading up a little bit better. And while we do that, let's take a look outside. There you can see at the corner of Vincent's and Market, things are moving very nicely across the area with that sunshine. Grab the shades, grab some of the sunscreen. It is totally summer-like out there for today. All right, we're going to try to bring up the future weather model data and see if the reboot helps at all. We got the reflectivity. We're going to go to this afternoon. And it's having a tough time this morning on the NAM 3 kilometer weather model data. Looking in at some of the comments as well. I may have to get Family 360 on him. I'll know when and where he's out on the road. Yeah, we've got the Life 360 as well. Steve checking in from Brandenburg. All right, we've got a little weather model data popping in. The data is just a little slow today. So it's still dry for us here at 5 p.m. today. I'm going to push this to 8 p.m. And we'll see what we can do here. It's taken a while. Jason, we got a lot of data chugging in there. I don't know if Jason can hear me. Or trying to bring it up, While we wait, thank you, Linda Anderson. Good that your son's driving. That will relieve mom and dad a little bit, you know, taking to all the practices and stuff like that. All right, so why we are spending so much time talking about what's going on tomorrow is not just because of what we're seeing on all the weather models, but I'm going to push this ahead to tomorrow evening. Again, the Storm Prediction Center wording this pretty strongly here for our area. This is generally forecast to shift east-northeast into the lower Ohio Valley through late Friday afternoon in an environment that may support at least a window of opportunity for sustained, long-lived supercells with the potential to produce large to giant hail. We don't hear giant from them very often. And a couple of strong tornadoes. So you have to have a strong updraft to produce hail that can stay aloft. Hail does not just magically stay in the atmosphere. It has to have something keeping it aloft. And that would be incredibly strong updraft winds, like 100-mile-per-hour winds straight up, that warm fuel, that buoyancy going straight up, and holding these big hailstones up until they eventually fall out. So this is at 8 p.m. tomorrow on the NAM 3 kilometer. Let me remove that. Let me bring this up. It's kind of showing this an isolated supercell, but this is just kind of showing that similar time frame, late tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. Let me see if we can pop up quickly the Storm Prediction Center's risk of severe weather for tomorrow. That data is loading very quickly. So the enhanced risk, level 3 out of 5, is north of us today. We're under level 2 out of 5 in the severe weather risk category for this evening and through the late night hours. So this forecast is going to be the same for you in Scottsburg, Patty. I would say 5 p.m. until midnight is the window of opportunity for a significant severe weather event for our area. This is the risk from the Storm Prediction Center, level 3 out of 5, but watch this. We bring up the probability of tornadoes. And so this is not something that we see very often in our area. This is 10% or greater risk that an EF2 or greater could happen within a point within 25 miles. That's kind of their, the way they give out the forecasts. Within 25 miles of a point, so just pick a point within that yellow area, and then 25 miles around it, they're saying there's a 10% chance of an EF2 or greater tornado. That's what those percentages mean. Again, I'll say that one more time. So when you see that these risks from the Storm Prediction Center, whether we're talking about hail or damaging wind, so you're talking about just pick a point in the hatched area, in the colored area. And so I've highlighted the 10% risk, and then this area, and I don't know, I guess I call that brown, that is 5%, and then the green is 2%. So it's always a small risk that you're going to get a tornado. They don't just hit everywhere, but that is a bigger risk than we normally see. So yellow means there is a 10% chance within a 25-mile radius, basically, that you could have an EF2 or greater tornado. That's why they're saying long-lived supercells and the potential of strong tornadoes for tomorrow. So this is your Friday, day 2, risk of tornadoes for tomorrow. And then we put up the hail, and we've got the risk of hail as well over our area. So this is a 30% risk. This area here, that's an even greater risk. So within any point there, that's west of I-65 in Kentucky and Indiana, you put a point down within a 25-mile radius, the 30% risk someone's going to get damaging hail. And then all of our areas under that 10% risk of hail. And when you have large hail, the increasing chance of tornadoes goes up as well. They're kind of hand in hand. And then this would be damaging straight line winds. This is 30% risk. Again, put a point down anywhere in there. That isn't our entire area. Southern Indiana, Kentuckiana, 30% risk of damaging winds. So this is higher than we see quite often. I do think there's a chance that this gets upgraded to a moderate risk. We'll just have to see how the data comes in here over the next 24 hours or so. And this right here is the hatched area of a significant tornado possible. So Gary asking, and Linda, this forecast is for Louisville as well. So Gary and Janet Hutchins, do you think it will increase to level 4? I think there's a pretty decent chance that it could. Yesterday, it was a slight risk, and I mentioned that I think it will be enhanced to an enhanced risk, and it was. It was increased to level 3. Now, tomorrow, will there be a smaller portion in there that maybe has a moderate risk? I think there is a decent chance of that. And so moderate risk, pretty rare for our area as well. All that to say, if you get a watch, that means the ingredients are there for severe weather. You maybe have seen that meme where you got the tomatoes and the cheese and the taco shells. You've got all the ingredients laid out. Well, we have wind shear, we've got unstable air, we've got the ingredients, we've got a front moving in. So that's when the watch would come out. I'm guessing we'll get a tornado watch tomorrow afternoon. That usually is supposed to give you a few hours advanced notice to be prepared for severe weather. Warning, that means you need to seek shelter immediately to the lowest level of your home, away from doors and windows. Have your alerts turned on your phone. Have a way to wake up if some of these storms happen a little bit later in the nighttime. Thankfully, this does not look like it's going to be a late night event for southern Indiana. It looks like it's going to be late afternoon into the evening time. Right now, my window is 5 p.m. until midnight for that main event for tomorrow evening. I'll try to get a little tighter with that window, but there could be a couple rounds. Again, the initial discrete supercells that pop up late tomorrow afternoon, early evening, those sometimes are, again, spin like tops, could have the large damaging hail and the strong tornadoes. We've got to watch out for those guys. That would be kind of round one of tomorrow. And then you got a squall line along the front. That would be more widespread damaging wind and possibly hail, heavy rain, frequent lightning, all that stuff as well. And possibly spin up tornadoes. So watching out for a couple batches of the strong to severe storms late tomorrow. So again, busy weather here. That's also, I don't want to ignore the fact that today we are under a slight risk of severe storms, but that is for this evening and later on tonight. And I think that is a much lower threat than what we'll see for tomorrow. Let me see if this will pop up here in just a second as well. Oh, let me get rid of the drawings. Waiting for that to pop in. We have John Fox. Supercells stink. Yes, they do. They never behave very often. That's not the way we want rain for our gardens. And Beverly, thinking about you tomorrow. We'll see you Monday. Be safe with these storm chances. Looking over some of the comments here. Carolyn Butler, you are welcome. Thanks for tuning in here. And Vicki Berger, it's nice to have you explain it in depth. It's nice to have the time to go as long as we want and explain these things in depth and show you the reason why. Again, this is not a hype machine. We're not trying to hype things up and scare anybody. And you know me by this time, if I say something serious, there's a decent chance it is, because typically I'm pretty chill and laid back. And everybody that knows me knows that. All right, so slight risk of severe storms for our area for this evening and tonight. That would be maybe some isolated damaging wind gusts, maybe some hail. I think that's a pretty low threat overall for us. But again, it's tomorrow that we're watching out for that higher threat. Let me see if the weather models are behaving a little bit better as far as ingesting the data. And I might try to bring in maybe the WRF, the WRF will be popping in a little bit better. It looks like in general, the program on weather model data is a little bit slow here this morning. Looks like we're going to get some data to pop in. Oh, why is it 6 a.m.? I want to go to 6 p.m. All right, while that waits, I'm going to go ahead and bring in the forecast here for you today. I know some of you were popping in a little bit later, like we were a little bit later as well. The forecast today, you're going to notice that we have a big increase in the heat and humidity across the area. The warmest day so far this year, the most humid day that we've had so far this year, almost a tropical feel this afternoon. With an evening shower or thunderstorm possible. I think that chance is going to be mainly after 8 p.m. today. South wind's going to kick up at around 10 to 20 and sunset at 8:47. And high levels of grass and tree pollen across the area. Hopefully we can get all the ball games in with the tropical air this evening in the 80s. Going to increase that rain chance after 8 p.m. this evening. And then that forecast tonight, 72 degrees, shower or storm possible, summer-like conditions, low of 72 for tonight. And tomorrow's forecast. Yeah, a lot of it looks dry. I think tomorrow morning there could be a lingering shower or storm in Kentucky. I think southern Indiana is dry. But in the afternoon through mid-afternoon, we're dry. Late afternoon into the evening time is when we'll have the increasing chance of showers and thunderstorms. I've been going over that over and over with that time frame to make sure that's clear. A good day to power wash the home. I need to do that in my mom's home as well. Thanks for the reminder. So 87 tomorrow, probably just unnoticeably a degree or two cooler tomorrow. Still very warm and humid for our Friday. That atmosphere, that air mass sets the stage for the potential of severe weather. 7-day forecast, we've got 87 tomorrow, those evening and night severe storm chances for Friday night, and then seasonably warm, dry this weekend, 80 Saturday, 79 Sunday. Happy to see that dry weather Saturday. Both of my kids have away tournaments. And then 80 degrees Monday with maybe a few showers around. Tuesday, shower chance. And then kind of looking like a front will move through Wednesday next week with a high percentage of a chance of showers and thunderstorms with that. And then behind that, that might kind of start a cooler weather pattern for possibly a couple of weeks. So we're looking at the potential of the last half of May turning out to be well below normal for this time of the year, as we have a shift in the jet stream, with the jet stream flowing in from the northwest, kind of starting mid next week. So that will be maybe not the way we want to open up the pools across the area. And back to some of the weather model data here as we bring this up. This is at 8 p.m. this evening. This is with the WRF weather model. A lot of times we do the HRR, the High Resolution Rapid Refresh weather model, or the NAM 3-kilometer weather model. But there you can see that chance of some storms firing up here. This is 8 p.m. this evening. A couple of storms could be on the strong side. No widespread severe weather event or anything like that expected for tonight. I'm going to pop this into tomorrow afternoon and see what the WRF thinks about late tomorrow afternoon. I'm going to wait a second for this to load up as well. Thank you all for tuning in here on this Thursday. So it has the storms lining up out to our west. This is around 5 p.m. The HRR weather model had that already edging into our area by late afternoon. So you can already see there's some discrepancy in the weather model data. We see this every time. They might be 1, 2, 3 hours off from each other. So give or take, late tomorrow afternoon, evening is kind of the time frame when we could kick off the severe weather threat for tomorrow. All right, so that is tomorrow. We're going to kick this ahead to, this is the last part of the WRF weather model at 48 hours. So there you go. And it's using a little bit older data. The HRR updates every hour. This one updated last night. But there you can see the squall line that it is also showing you. But this shows you three. If you've been watching here, we've had 3 high-resolution weather models all saying that tomorrow evening has a high chance of some strong to severe storms moving through the area. So that is a picture of 8 p.m. tomorrow. So that's why we think there will be some watches that will be posted for the potential. And it possibly could. Mary Netherly asking, is it going to be bad in Crestwood? Well, there you go. Yeah, it could certainly be bad there. We are under an enhanced risk of severe weather, level 3 out of 5. That might be increased for parts of our area to level 4 out of 5 for tomorrow. So this is just not really an early heads up since it's heading our way tomorrow, but we're getting you ready for it. We're getting you prepared. For a couple rounds before the weekend of some active weather, thanks to this soupy air that we have across the area, almost tropical, getting dew points up to near 70 degrees. So that dew point is a measure how cool you would need to cool the air down to where you would have dew form. So if you take take your glass of iced tea outside, it starts to form water droplets on the glass because you've cooled the air around it down to the dew point. And you're creating dew out of the air. You're condensing water out of the air. So that is the dew point. The higher the dew point, you don't have to cool the air down so much to get water to condense out of the air. Higher the dew point, you're feeling tropical out there, like Florida. How often have we had level 5? That's high risk. That only happens, I think, once or twice, maybe every few years, really across the country. High risk is pretty rare. Don't expect high risk for us for tomorrow, Vicki. Good question, though. That's some rare air to get that. All right, that kind of sums it up. We're going to be prepared for that severe weather threat, and want to bring back, I haven't talked about extolmag.com. We will do that before we wrap things up. And you can always go and find more information anytime of the day. extolmag.com/weather, extolmag.com. You can find your interactive radar there, our live stream happening now, 7-day forecast that I've got already posted. The weather story has, again, the write-up about the potential of severe weather for small chance tonight, much bigger chance for tomorrow evening, and we've got that there. Internet's just chugging a little bit for today. There we go. So there you can see me live talking about those storms, interactive radar, allianceroofingco.com, 812-294-3595. They're a partner of ours. Thankful to have them on board. They are very busy. They are not wanting a bunch of roofs to get hit. They are so busy still from the March storms. But they are looking for some help. If you need work, take a look and call them. 812-294-3595. Great people. Kyle Lyons is in the house right now, actually. Back to the weather story. So I've got the weather story here right there that I wrote this morning. The severe weather threat Friday for southern Indiana. You've got your severe weather risks from the Storm Prediction Center here and here. The severe weather watches will be posted there. If we get any storm reports today or tomorrow, you'll see them there. And then again, the interactive radar. Try to bring that up full screen here. And look at these temperatures already as I bring this up full screen. So we're already hitting 80 degrees in some spots. So the warm up has commenced across the area. And it will be dry through most of the daytime today. Right around sunset, we'll have the chance for some storms rolling into the area. I want to point out too, I know a lot of you have apps with radar, but if the app goes down, try extolmag.com/weather and go to the interactive radar. There are also, just do it anyway, because there are storm tracks, watches and warnings live here. So if you click on the storm track, it'll tell you where the storm's going, the direction, the speed, the towns that they are heading into. And this is the storm track mode right here in the middle. You've got wind speeds you can bring on and off, lightning you can bring on and off, and temperatures you can bring on and off, along with, you can put on other alerts, severe warnings, all of the tools to be your own meteorologist right there at your fingertips. So that works on your mobile device, on your PC at home, whatever you want to do, check that out. Just looking over some of the comments here, if I haven't. So we have Carmen. Thanks for tuning in. Happy Thursday to you. Nicholas, Chris, literally rare air. Yes, indeed. And John Fox, you're welcome. Thank you for tuning in here. Kathy Bryant, thank you. Donna, good luck. Brady, yeah, my son gets his license at like 1 o'clock today. Wish us luck. Wish us all luck. Wish you luck out on the roads as well. He's a good driver. He's had his permit. He's been doing a good job. Vicki, that's good. Have a wonderful day, and God bless you. God bless you. Vicki, thanks for watching here. Renetta Richard, hello to you. Thanks for watching. All right, we talked about Lions. One more time, we'll give it up to Ivy Tech. They're amazing. If you're in high school and you can get those dual college credits, do that. Give you a huge head start in college. They'll meet you where you're at, though, in your career. Doesn't matter if you're in your teens, your 20s, your 30s, your 40s. If you want to advance to try something else, maybe a whole different career path. We know what that's about. You can head to ivytech.edu. You can go to locations, go to Sellersburg, and check out the Sellersburg campus there and all the different programs that they have. 42 programs offered. Look at all of that right there. And also our friends at NWSB. You can go to newwashbank.com. People you know wherever you go. And a reminder through the month of May, grab all those plastic bags, paper bags, tote bags, backpacks, duffel bags, lunch bags, and help out Project Recovery. Thanks to all of our partners out there. And so far, so good with that weather today. If you love summer weather, you'll love the weather today and tomorrow outside of that chance of threatening weather. And there is a live look at the beautiful conditions across the area. So we've got sunshine, high levels of humidity increasing with that south wind out there. Winds will be blowing the next few days, like 10 to 20 today, like a warm furnace out there. Some of the gusts probably 15 to 30 before the storms hit tomorrow. And then Saturday behind the front, I think we'll have 15 to 30 mile per hour winds. So few blustery days here in mid-May. Right smack dab in the middle of May is where we're at right now. All right, stay safe. That's the main thing. Watch out for some showers and storms this evening. And then tomorrow morning on Ben at 10, we're going to dig deep. We're going to give you hour-by-hour outlook with the storm threat. And maybe the storm threat has increased a little bit. We'll see from the Storm Prediction Center and with our maps as well. And so we'll definitely get you ready for that. Have your family plan ready to go. Have that safe place ready. You know, your first aid kit, maybe pillows, blankets, snacks. If you might have to seek shelter, just have it ready to go. Then you don't have to worry about it when it happens. Connie Lichtenberg, thank you. Thank you for watching. Renetta Richard, hello. Thank you for watching here this morning. And I think I've got all of the comments out, so that means we are going to wrap things up on this Thursday. Happy Friday Eve. Thanks for tuning in here on Ben at 10. You can always watch on my Facebook page, Meteorologist Ben Peine, P-E-I-N-E. You can also watch on Extol Weather. Let me go ahead and take Renetta's comment off there. There we go. There we go. That's the real spelling. Wait, that would go this way. There we go. Of my last name, P-E-I-N-E. Extol Weather on Facebook. Watch live there, and on Extol Media, like and subscribe. And let's, you can bring it up full screen. Almost all smart TVs have the YouTube app. Click on YouTube, search Extol, E-X-T-O-L, Media, and you can find our live stream. And of course, extolmag.com/weather, live stream right there. So we're everywhere. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Get you ready for those Friday, late afternoon, evening severe storms. Right here, same place, same time. Have a great Thursday. Enjoy that warm sunshine out there.